Right, hello and welcome to this, the first of my Autodesk Inventor tutorials. I'm going to guide you through an introduction to the package and introduce a simple exercise in which we're going to start using many of the functions available to us within the Autodesk environment. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the environment in which we are working. Now, you see on the screen I've already got a model of my bird box, and this is the thing that we're going to create. Now by environment, what I mean is what we've got available to us. This here is our working area. This is our workshop for today, and this is our classroom for today. And in here are all the tools that we're going to need. The first thing I want to make sure all of you do is you all actually create a metric drawing. And the quickest and easiest way to do this is to actually come up to the I logo. Every time you start a new program, I'd like you to try and get in the habit of actually clicking up in this top left hand corner on the I. Right, you can see we've got new, open, save as, and there are prompts that jump across. Now you can see there we could actually go across and actually select new drawing. I don't want you to do that. I want you to click new, and that will open up this file. As you can see, we've got some templates available to us, and we need to make sure metric is highlighted, and from there we can come across and we can actually start to do a standard drawing, and it's this one here that we need, the standard millimeters.ipt. Highlight that and hit create, and that will give us our new blank page. Now, to create our 3D form, every form we're going to create is going to require a 2D sketch, which is here. Now before I start doing that, there's a couple of other points I want to show you. Our tabs across the top here, if they're not visible, just simply go to this arrow here. You can see as I click it, they appear, disappear. It kind of scrolls through. You may find you've got to hit it a couple more times in order to scroll to where you actually need it. So make sure that's lit. You need your browser here. If that isn't there, we go to view, user interface, and there you go. There's your browser. If I untick that box, see, it disappears. Now you'll see as we start to do our picture, we're going to need that. These are all our prompts that are available to us. Just click that to get rid of that, and there's another page I want you to be able to see. Tools, application options. Alright. Now in here, the main thing I want you to be aware of is your colours tab. This some of you may find useful. Within your colours tab, we can actually change the look of our page by changing the colours and the way it operates. And there's several already in here. You can see a preview here. The design, which is lit at the moment, is going to be your 3D view, and then for drafting, which is where we're going to do our 2D view, you can see we've got another page. We can change how that appears to us as well. I myself am going to leave it. I'm going to leave it on the winter night, and I'm going to start my sketching in there. Okay, so that's under tools, application options. Right, let's start our picture. Now, before you start doing any kind of CAD in Autodesk Inventor or just the Autodesk 2D package, you must have an idea of what you're going to be drawing. And you can see here, here's my sketch. This is part of my research. I've done the research and what I want my bird box to look like, and I've added some measurements to it. And you can see it's quite basic. It's 120mm square for 40mm high pitch on the top. I've got a 40mm diameter hole, which is 80mm up from the bottom, and I've got 10mm overhang on my roof all the way round. Now one thing that isn't on here, which I forgot to actually draw on, is that I'm going to be using 10mm thick wood. So I'm going to make all my walls 10mm thick. Okay, just minimise that. And let's start drawing. Right, 3D model. start 2D sketch. Okay, and now you'll get up a set of planes. We've got XY, YZ and XZ. Now I'm actually going to start drawing it in the XY plane. If you look here on a graph, any kind of graph, I mean, when you get to the CNC machines, in maths, in science, when you start drawing graphs, we can assume this is going to be our X, this is going to be our Y, Z is going to be vertical. Okay, so really I should be drawing in the XZ plane. I'm deliberately going to draw in the wrong plane, and you'll see why. I'm just going to show you another function that's available to us later on. So let's actually click XY, and you'll see our tabs across the top will change. Now we're going to be looking at constraints, lines, and we'll look at circles later on. And I want you to start using these. Very, very useful tools. So there's one term I want you to be aware of, and that's constraints. Another word you're going to hear is snap. Now let's just select line. If I drag my cursor over my crosshairs, you can see it changes changes to green, and it automatically selects X0, Y0. Okay, so it's snapped to the 0 coordinate. Let's drag my line across. Now it's snapped to the horizontal, and if you look just below the right hand side of my cursor, you can see a horizontal constraint that has been applied. Alright. Now I'm going to go vertically, and you can see it's actually put on a perpendicular constraint now. So if you look at the bottom line, you see the horizontal constraint and the perpendicular constraint. Alright, just going to click OK. You'll see this line's gone purple, which means it's fully constrained. This line's green, which means it isn't constrained. I'm just going to undo that and start again. So what I want to do, click to the middle, I'm going to click across. You can see my measurement is highlighted in purple, and I'm actually going to put a measurement in there now. Now we knew it was 120mm, so let's enter 120 and hit the enter key. Now your scroll wheel enables you to zoom in and out. If you click and hold your scroll wheel, you can drag your picture across the screen. Now I'm going to go vertically. Now I'm not going to worry about a measurement here. I've still got my perpendicular constraint, I've still got my horizontal constraint here. I'm going to snap that vertically. Now I'm deliberately now going to draw the worst bird box in the world. Okay, pitch is wrong length. Just look at my last line. It's going to snap to the beginning of my very first line and complete my box. Okay, it's the worst bird box in the world. And I'm going to correct this and make this right by using my constraints. Now, line's still lit, so it's just right click, click OK, and that will cancel the line. You can also hit the escape key. Now, first thing, let's make this line vertical. And I'm going to use my parallel constraint for this. Everyone knows what parallel means. Two lines that do not meet, like train tracks. So let's select parallel. Select the first vertical line, and then select the second one. You can see I've now got two lines that are parallel, and you can see the constraint. There's one applied there, one applied there. Right click, click OK. If you need to, you can drag your shape around. It's still free form. I can no longer drag that one left and right. It's vertical. I can no longer drag that one left and right. It will only go up and down. Now, my two walls are going to be the same height. So let's put in a horizontal constraint. Top of that line, top of that line. They're now both the same. And let's hit OK. You can see as I drag one side up and down, the other side follows. My roof is still all wobbly, so he's OK. As I do drag it around, just notice if I go across the middle, you can see it's actually snapping to the middle of the bottom line. Okay, be careful not to do that for the moment. Now, these have got to be equal for the pitch to be in the middle, and I'm going to use the equal constraint to get that one over here. Select equal, select one line, select the other line. Right click and click OK. You can see now I've got my roof. Lastly, all we need to do is to add some dimensions. I had 120mm walls and it was 140mm from the top of the wall to the top of the pitch. So let's add those now. Click dimension, click the right hand line, let's put in 120. And you can either click the tick or you can just simply hit the enter key. Just zoom out. Dimension still lit. Let's pick up the middle point and the top of the wall. Drag our dimension out. Let's enter 40. Okay, you can now see all my lines are purple, so they're all fully constrained, and that's our sketch completed. Very quick, very easy, using these tools here. Let's click finish sketch. Let's just hit our home view. You can see now actually my bird box is laying on its back, which is not what I want it to be doing. We'll correct that in a minute. First of all, let's actually create our shape, and we're going to extrude this. The easiest way to explain what extruding does is to simply do it. Let's click extrude. There you go. You can see my profile, and I've got an arrow which I can drag. You can see the numbers change. Now we know a bird box is 120mm square, so let's put in 120 and hit OK. And we've now got the basic shape of our bird box. If you hold the shift key down as well as the scroll wheel, you can rotate, or you can use the navigation hand wheel which is here. Now hopefully just click my view cube here. Alright, top, back, left, and that gives me the view that I want. If I hit home, it's going to go back. So let's just correct our shape again. Drag it somewhere. Okay, and let's hover over our view cube, right click, and we can see we've got a tab here that says set current view as home. So I'm going to click fit to view. Let's just put him upside down. Let's click home again, and you'll see he now comes back how we want him to be viewed. Next job, we need to cut the middle out to create a 10mm wall thickness. There's a couple of ways of doing this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plane on top of that ridge, draw a square and extrude down through, and use a cutting extrude. First of all, I've got to select a plane. When we started our sketch, you could see we could select any one of these planes to start with. Now we have a shape. We can draw on any one of the faces. Alright, what I actually want to do is I want to draw on top of that pitch, so I haven't got a plane where I need it to be. I'm going to create a plane. Start 2D sketch. Plane. It needs to be parallel to this bottom plane. Click plane again. We can then grab our bottom plane and drag him up. Now, the total height of our bird box is 160mm. Just notice there's a minus number in there, so I'm going to put minus 160. Click the tick. You can see I've now got a plane on top of my ridge. Start 2D sketch. Select this plane. and we're going to draw on here. Now, in order for me to dimension to the bird box that's already been drawn, I need to project my geometry. If I didn't do this, I wouldn't be able to dimension to the walls that are already there. So let's just project all the wall edges. Okay. Right click, click OK. And now I'm going to use my rectangle tool. Very quickly and easily draw a rectangle. There you can see, because it's a rectangle, it's already given me parallel and horizontal constraints and perpendicular in the corners. Right click, click OK. Now all we've got to do is actually dimension it. So let's dimension our wall thicknesses. 10. See more to do. Last one. Okay, so I've now got a fully constrained rectangle in the middle. Let's finish that sketch. Let's select Extrude again. Now the Extrude I did before, this button was lit. Now what I want to do, like the one below, you can see it's just actually popped up. This will create a cutting motion. I want to cut using that square. You can see he's actually gone the wrong direction at the moment, so let's drag our arrow down. Alright, and there you can see he's cutting through the middle. Now, 10mm at the bottom, so 160 high, 160 minus 10, 150. So let's type in 150. Gives you a preview, which is always handy. And let's click OK. And you can see he's now cut the middle out. Now, I've got a work plane still visible, which is obscuring my sketch. So if I go to the browser bar, remember I said you want the browser there. If it's not there, go to View, Options, and make it available. Let's click Work Plane, right click, and there's a Visibility tab there. Just untick that, and it'll disappear. Okay, we've got our walls. Quick, simple, easy. Got to create the roof now. We've actually now got a plane which is at the right angle for us to create a roof panel. He's on top of our walls here. Start 2D sketch. Select the top of our walls. We'll bring it round, and we're going to use the rectangle tab again. First of all, let's just project the geometry, and let's project all the edges we might need to dimension to. Right click, click OK, and let's select rectangle. Now I'm going to hover somewhere near the middle, and you can see there's a black dotted line is going to appear, and that's snapping to that, and it's automatically snapping the top left hand corner of our rectangle to the centre line of our ridge. So let's click that and drag him across just beyond the bottom right hand corner. And now again, let's add some dimensions. So we want 10mm overhang all the way around. So it's 10mm at the front, 10mm at the back, and 10mm there. Let's finish that. And finish sketch. And now let's extrude this. Again, we're going to be using create a shape, so we want that one lit. Select our profile. Just make sure this one's lit. What that will do is ensure we actually create a solid. 10mm wood again, so let's put 10mm. Click OK. It's actually quite key to keep that solid lit. You can see up here we've now got two solid bodies. Right, so there's our first solid body, and there's our second solid body. Now, there's no need to draw on the left hand side. What we can do is use our mirror function. First things first though, we need a plane about which to mirror. If I actually click mirror, select my feature, see it asks for a plane. Now I've got no plane in the middle. If I go to the left hand side, you can see there's no plane actually available to me. So we'll just cancel that. First things first, we need to create a plane around which to mirror this. So, start 2D sketch, use the drop down, and we're going to select mid plane between two planes. There's our first plane, there's our second plane. So I've clicked the two sidewalls, and that has now given me a plane in the middle. Every time I want to get the view back, I can use my navigation cube here. Alright, so there's our plane which we can now use the mirror function around. Select mirror again. Features, automatically lit. Select our feature, which is our roof panel. Now let's select our mirror plane, which is our work plane 2 there. Okay, it's going to give you a preview. If you're happy, hit OK. And there you can see we've got our roof. Let's just turn the visibility off on that work plane again. Select the front. Now, just need to fill in this little V. So let's just draw a little sketch in here. Start 2D sketch. We're going to draw on the front of our roof. And again, I want to project geometry. So I'm just going to project that edge and that edge. And click OK. And let's start drawing lines. It's going to snap to the bottom of the V. It snaps that top right hand corner. Now, what I want to do is it's actually going to give me what we call polar tracking. Let's just zoom in here. You can see I've now snapped to this roof, but it's also given me a projection from this point here. Okay, so I'm absolutely in the middle. Let's finish it off, clicking to the bottom. You can see I've now got 4 lines. These 2 lines are in line with this piece of roof and this piece of roof. Right click and hit OK. Now it's projecting your geometry that allows you to do that. Let's just hit finish sketch. Hit our home button. There's our view. Let's hit extrude. It's automatically selected our feature. Now we can either put in a distance, should be 140mm, or we can select 2. If I just rotate him round, I can extrude to the back face. Just like that. Okay. Tick it for OK. And there we have the basic shell of our bird box with its roof panel. Last thing to do, just put our hole in the front. Now we could draw a circle and extrude it using our cutting extrude, or we can use our hole function. It's quite nice to start using all the functions that we've got available and see which one works best for us. Let's just select hole. Placement, linear. We've got from sketch, so you could draw on there. Concentric, point, concentric. If we wanted to put a hole in the middle of a circle, we would use concentric. Let's leave it on linear. For first thing it asks us to do is to click the face. So it's click our face. At the moment it's defaulted to a 3mm diameter hole, so let's change that to 40. You can see there's a preview, and we got a 10mm wall, so let's do our hole 11mm deep, just to make sure he goes through the wall. Lastly, we need to put him in the middle, the vertical, and 80mm up from the bottom, so we can click reference. Let's click our first reference. It's going to be this vertical side. Gives you a dimension. Let's change that one to 60. Oops. Okay, 60mm. Let's do our second reference from the bottom. Type in 80mm and hit. We can either hit enter to finish it, or we can click OK here, and it will apply it. And now you can see we've got our hole coming through. Right, so that is our bird box. From that we can now create our engineering drawing, right, which will give us our cutting list, so we can now go to the workshops, trim our material, and actually make our product. Now, I kind of want to make this look a little bit smarter, give it a better representation. And if you saw my example, I've got a red roof and I've got wooden sides. So let's do the same. Let's select our first solid and come up and use our drop down at the top. This is our materials. And I think I used, what have we got? Walnut? No. Let's make it out of white oak. Okay. Select our solid. This is why I said to make the solids, make sure they're higher highlighted. If you hadn't done that, you wouldn't be given this option now. You wouldn't actually be able to select individual solids to change the materials on them. And I'm going to do it red again. Okay, actually that's not very clear, is it? Let's change that. Let's do it in green. Okay. And there's our bird box. You can see the inside actually quite clearly. Okay. So that's it. Very simple, very quick, very easy. And there's our bird box. Okay. And that was all using 2D sketches, constraints, snaps. Down the left hand side you can see everything that we did. If you want to adjust anything, all you've got to do, plus sign, you can click your sketch, you can click the icon that comes up here, and what that will allow you to do is actually edit your sketch, so you can make adjustments to it. If you're not happy, go back and actually move things around. Alright, also you might want to make your sketch visible. You can see your sketch there, puts dimensions on. Work planes, you may want them visible. Alright, or they may be visible and you need to turn them off. Simply a case, left click to select, right click to bring up the options. You can click and select visibility, turn it on, turn it off. Alright, so that was your first tutorial. Have a go at that, see how you get on. The next one we'll do, we'll convert this into a working drawing. Okay, have fun.